Wait, you said you're a train wreck?
Yeah.
Why? Why, Gabrielle? Why?
I have a lot going on right now.
I know, but like, how does being a train wreck impact your day to day?
What? It just does. Look at
it makes your face what?
Control. My face is all puffy and sideways.
Sideways. Her face is sideways, guys.
Just don't.
What does that mean?
When I'm tired, first of all, I need an adjustment really, really bad.
But you said your face is sideways 3 to 4 times.
It's like my eyes.
What is sideways?
It's because my neck's out and my occipital nerve isn't like holding my eye open properly. Just, it's a thing.
Guess what, guys?
My dad was a chiropractor. I've learned these things since childhood. I know when I need an adjustment really bad.
She does. Guess what, you guys? Guess what we're going to talk about today, which is, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not even going to be shy about this. I am going to talk about this on my channel as well because it's so ludicrous. Mm-hmm. So, Gabrielle, you don't know this yet, but the FBI went on Capitol Hill yesterday and was testifying about the Trump, attempted assassination, as they would. Yeah. And they said that they are not convinced that a bullet hit Trump's ear. They said that they're not sure that a bullet hit his ear.
That video evidence wasn't.
So let me just make sure what you
see the bullet whiz by his head and watch him go like this.
So let me just make sure we're up to date on what they are sure about.
It was a fly.
They are sure that it was a lone gunman. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
For sure.
But the bullet hitting his ear,
Debatable.
Maybe not.
Debatable.
Let's not give Trump any extra oomph behind his campaign.
And we're certainly not going to use the words assassination attempt.
Nope, because that sounds very dramatic.
It sounds very presidential.
It really does. That does sound
very presidential.
Damn, I didn't even realize that. That is why they didn't want to do it.
100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about more things related to what's the right way to put this? Hubbub.
The hubbub.
That's still.
Hubbub? Isn't there another word for that?
Hubbub.
I think there's an L in there somewhere.
Hubbub? No. Hubbub.
Hubbub.
All the hubbub around the post-investigation, the badge cam, where these guys are up on the roof. They're all la, 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 la. So you guys took pictures. It's insane.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we'll talk about that and some other stuff. It's what we do.
All right.
But let me ask you this, Gabrielle. First of all, what on earth are you doing? Are you looking up hubbub?
Yeah.
You're looking up all the hubbub?
It's hubbalub.
Hubbalub.
Yes.
What? Just because you found something that says hubbalub does not mean that is the same.
Wait, I don't.
That's a different. Oh yeah, what's all this hullabaloo? That's a different thing.
There's words.
Hey guys, do you say? What about all this hullabaloo? Are you a sick that's something that a 54-year-old white woman says. You actually can't say hullabaloo if you are under 45. Any other race than Caucasian.
I feel the same way about hubbub.
No, hubbub is kind of like it's borderline, but I did just say it. Okay. Hullabaloo. You want to know who I picture when I say hullabaloo?
What?
I actually am not going to say it because she would hate to be even featured by name in this show.
Who?
My mom's youngest sister.
Okay.
That's hullabaloo all day, dude. Yeah. All this hullabaloo.
Yes.
You're like that's
her.
That is the prototypical person who says hullabaloo.
Okay.
I actually can't visualize anyone else saying it.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys can tell us what you think. I moved, so in order to make room for the Trump sneaker. By the way, I had Ed Byers, the Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, SEAL Team 6 Master Chief, one of the most decorated Navy SEALs in the history of the SEAL teams, on my show yesterday where we recorded it. Mm-hmm. There's so much in there, I have to edit it down, but I pointed at that sneaker up there, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Really?"
Come on, Ed Byers.
I mean, he's a serious, you know what's great about him is if he has an opinion about something, you
would never know.
No, not at all. If he shares his opinion, he is going to make it he makes such a compelling case, and he can make things that are taken lightly by people sound very important, and not even sound very important. He puts into context how important they actually are.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job of that. He is a firm, immovable Trump supporter.
Okay.
And I feel like in a world where a lot of people who support Trump are like, hey, did you hear what he said about Kamala? Woo, woo.
Yeah.
Because he makes it fun.
Yeah.
That is not something that moves Ed Byers.
No.
And the way, you know, like the way he looks at it, you're like, wow, that actually, you know, I mean, it is kind of, I was already there, but he's just a leader of men, dude. You know, if he he's just a very impressive specimen, dude.
Yeah. He's a great guy. I really like him a lot.
I made Gabrielle, like when we met him, so the first time that Gabrielle met him was at a conference where he was the keynote speaker in Austin. Mm-hmm. And the way I had described him, Gabrielle, I would assume, was probably like, oh man, this guy's going to be scary. I'm like...
also in my brain, he was like 65.
Really?
Yes, just the way that you talk about him, like so buttoned up and put together and distinguished and like
there are
decorated.
No 43, 44-year-olds that are put together and buttoned up?
In my brain, he was a much older, serious dude. And then I met him and I'm like, that is not what I had in my brain at all.
That's
at all.
Very bizarre.
Well, I don't know, just I guess because in my mind, like the way that you always talked about like how decorated he was and how much experience he'd had and all the things he had done, like in my brain that meant time. One could only do those things with time, but he just did them all really fast.
Well, dude, in the SEAL teams, you're not leading units at age 40, you know, like, you know, he was like an on the ground Navy SEAL operations, you know. That was another thing that was great about that conversation. And I apologize that I'm not putting that, you know, part of it in this video, but I will tell you for sure, I'll put some of that I'll put on here and some of it I'll put on the other channel. But like, when he was talking about the sniper taking the shot, and kind of like
which one?
The counter sniper.
Okay.
You know, and he was just putting in perspective how it could be that they would not have taken that shot. You know, first of all, he is certainly not saying that there's not a, you know, bigger, I mean, given his position, like this is a person with like top secret clearance. Like he's not going to say, you know,
he can't say certain
he's not going to speculate on conspiracy theories, whether, you know, it makes sense to him or not. But just, you know, in playing devil's advocate on how this could happen, you know, without throwing anyone under the bus, and he has a bunch of, you know, friends that are in the Secret Service, whatever. He's just like, you know, he's like, listen, dude, you're in Virginia. It is legal to carry. This guy looks like a Virginia guy. You don't really know for sure. And, you know, when he said that with the setup that the sniper had, though, with the rifle and the scope that he had, he's like, that guy could have read like that. If the guy was holding up a newspaper at 150 yards, he could read every word.
The counter sniper?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he knew exactly what he was looking at.
It's like as if he was 3 feet away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But.
So that was my question that I never got to spit out the other day when we were talking by ourselves. So like that video, they're saying
which
that
one?
the videos that have come out with the shooting, like they're saying that all 8, I think it was 8 rounds.
9, I think, but yeah.
I think it's 8, but I could be wrong.
Could be 8, yeah.
I think it was 1, 2, 3 slow, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
They're saying that all of those came from the shooter.
In the official story, that is what the story is, and
no one has video or audio of the counter, like the one shot. The return shot?
See, that's the thing that I was unclear on too. I thought, Ed and I talked about this yesterday, I thought that there was an 11-second gap between the first shot and then when the counter sniper...
It's like 3 seconds. It's like, I think it's 3 seconds from the last... It's 2 or 3 seconds from the third shot in the first series. I watched that. Yeah.
I'm talking about from when the shooter took the first shot to when the counter sniper put him down.
Well, that's what I don't know. I always thought that the 5 return that are way faster. I always thought that the second set of 5 that was way faster was the counter sniper.
No.
But I haven't heard the counter.
No, the guy, like, apparently, like, there was a 1, 2, 3 that were kind of like,
one,
separated
2,
out.
3, and then 1, 2, 3, 5.
The official story is all of those came from the shooter. And, you know, that does make sense if it was, because whether it's one shooter or 2, I mean, there's so much evidence that there's 2 shooters now.
Yeah. I need to wash my hair too.
But it was, I know, because your hair's sideways.
Everything's sideways right now, okay?
So he goes 1, 2, 3. he hit Trump and he went down. Like if you shoot an animal, human, whatever, it's not like you hit them and they just explode. You know, like you can have a
I thought was going to happen when you shot
right. Yeah, but like you can have a straight up kill shot, and it's not like you're going to immediately know. So he hits Trump, and then Trump hits the deck. I think what happened was he thought he had a hit, and then he kind of did two more, and then looked, and he's like, "Oh, I missed," and then went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fast. You know,
maybe. But
I mean, I don't know.
we not hear the counter sniper shot?
See, I don't know.
I have not heard that, but can you silence a rifle? I don't know how that works.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah? I mean, it's not that quiet though.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, it's certainly quieter for sure. Okay, but check this out. I want to talk about this. Like this guy, this is him saying he doesn't know whether Trump was hit by a bullet, and I want to talk about how egregious that is. All right, ready? Let's watch it.
I guess I'm not clear exactly where you said there were 8 shell casings on the roof, so 8 bullets were fired. We obviously know that Mr. Comparatori lost his life. Two other rally goers were injured, seriously injured, and then the one that hit President Trump. Does that account for, were some of these individuals hit multiple times? Where did all 8 bullets go is, I guess, my question.
I don't have that in front of me. I'm happy to circle back and get that to you. It's assuming we have that information yet. As I said, I think with respect to former President Trump.
Okay, there's nothing more infuriating than watching these guys on Capitol Hill say things like that. You're like, dude, you are the director of the FBI. You and I both know that you have been briefed at every single step on this investigation. You're telling me that you don't know where the 8 shots that the assassin fired went, like off the top of your head, because
it's a diagram.
It's an absolute lie. Yeah. That's an absolute lie. There's no possible way that you don't know that.
That has been calculated and displayed so many times that he can probably see it in his sleep.
Is it hard for, like, literally, you could tell me one time where those went and I would remember them permanently.
Exactly.
It is impossible that he doesn't know that. And I don't understand how they can just go up there
and lie,
because because technically I don't know is not perjury. You can't you can't be perjury if you say I don't know,
even if you do know.
How do they prove it? You know, like they just have to be like, oh, well then you're incompetent. He's like, okay, do something about it.
I'll take the incompetent.
Yeah, do something about it. Like that is a fucking lie, dude.
Huh.
There's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that hit his ear. So it's conceivable, although, as I sit here right now.
Shrapnel from what?
Yeah.
Shrapnel from what?
I don't know whether that bullet,
you would know where,
in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else. But I believe we've accounted for all of the shots on the cartridges. So let us get that.
It's my understanding that the very first one was the one that hit the president. Is that the very first shot, or is that not accurate?
I don't, as I sit here right now, I don't know the answer to that. I believe we know the answer to that. I just don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Stone
liar.
Lie.
Is there any chance this? I mean, it seems to me that this bad guy, this shooter, was focused on President Trump, but you indicated that he purchased 50 rounds of ammunition, I believe, earlier that day. Do you have any indications thus far in your investigation that, in addition to going after and trying to assassinate the former president, he was also looking to do a lot more damage to other individuals?
Okay, so for a Republican senator or whatnot, I think that's Jim Jordan. What is the quantity that you purchase?
That's what I was just going to
bullets
ask.
in?
Yeah,
they come 50? In 50s.
Yeah,
I
would like a singular bullet, please.
Yeah, I am planning to shoot the president. I don't think I'll need more than 8 shots. It's ridiculous.
That's a hard question to answer. What I would say is I agree with you that his preparatory activity is what we've seen so far, the limited information that has been relevant and interesting about his preparatory activity does seem to be that he had settled on former President Trump as a target, and this rally as his moment to try to take a shot. But in addition to the 50 rounds, of course, you have the issue of these explosive devices.
Right.
And so what else he may have had in mind is something that I think is very much of an open question.
Okay, what he's been trained in is
elusive answers.
I think my guess is he is probably one of the most heavily trained people in interrogating others. So he's been like reverse trained. Yeah. You know, like in what they look for in deceptive answers, and he just knows to not do that.
But it's like too much.
Yeah.
Like
That is such an egregious, absolute.
He's a lying liar.
Lie.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know where they went. You don't know where the shots went. And you don't know if the bullet hit Trump's ear.
The exact semantics he chooses. He says, I don't know that as I sit here. I don't have that information in front of me.
I think we know. I just don't know right now. You're like,
I just don't know right here as I sit right now because I don't have that information in front of me. That was his answer.
That
multiple times.
Absolute. I mean, there's just a complete and total lie. I mean, just bottom line. There is not even 1% chance that guy does not know
everything.
Yeah. I mean, man. It's just funny because you know for 100% sure that the FBI despises Trump.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They despise. He fired James Comey. He went to war with the FBI. He fired the following director one day before he was set to get his pension. He made sure that guy did not get his pension.
That's kind of fucked up.
McCabe. I agree.
I don't know what he did, but that's kind of fucked up.
He was.
I love Trump.
I mean, these guys were conspiring against him, like straight up, like on, like.
I know, but I don't know. That affected that guy's family.
I don't love that either. But I think his last name is McCabe. But again, I don't remember exactly what he did because when Trump did it, I remember still kind of being like not sure where I stood on things.
Yeah.
That was before the Mueller report, which was and we're done. Right. You guys are the bad guys. You guys fabricated this entire thing. You smeared him. You sabotaged his entire presidency.
I mean, like I said, I'm sure that guy deserved it. Just like
he did something egregious.
Yeah. I feel for the family. If he's like married with kids and that was like now someone's going back to, I don't know. There were innocents involved in that one.
Fair enough. But
put that guy in jail or whatever and give the wife the pension. I don't know. But
fair enough. This guy though, Director Wray is, it's unbelievable. So you're like, okay, so what do you know? He's like, well, we know it's a lone shooter. Mm-hmm. We know that he searched, what's his name? Lee Harvey Oswald. How far did he shoot JFK from? He Googled that. And you're like, okay, sure. Yeah, sure he did. What else? They're all, this information that tracks a cell phone that visited his house to the FBI building. What do you have to say about that? He's all, what?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, really.
Like they have GPS of the phone going to the FBI building?
They have they
get pinged off of their towers or whatever?
Someone who was at his house a year ago went to D.C. into the plaza where the FBI is.
Someone who was at his...
Yeah. Here.
I don't get it.
So they, these guys who mine data and then they analyze it or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, Alex Jones is going off right now, dude. Okay, shooter. So
I cannot believe that Kamala is the Democratic nominee.
So ridiculous.
I literally can't wrap my brain around it.
Okay, so here you go. So, the Heritage Foundation just released cell phone data of a mysterious figure who made frequent trips between Trump shooter Thomas Matthew Crook's home and a building in D.C. near the FBI office. 9 devices were identified in the analysis, linking to both his home and work. This is an extremely important story. FBI caught community. Yeah, this.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I did a video about this.
Huh.
So, again, you would think that they would need to explain that, right?
You would think.
You would think they would be like, all right, so who exactly did this phone belong to?
Yeah.
You know?
Who?
Yeah, remember this? when they're like, we can't get into his cell phone. You're, oh, geez. Oh, you can't? It's just,
why couldn't they get into a cell phone?
well, they ended up getting in there.
Yeah.
After, but like originally, though, we just can't get into his cell phone. You're like, bullshit,
Yeah.
lying liar.
Lying liars, all of them.
A bunch of lying liars.
Yes.
Anyway, but that's enough for this video. The FBI is full of shit. And now we're going to do a video about Chris, the trans kitty predator that Mr. Beast fired. You fired.
Finally.
Yep.
Stand by.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Love you guys.
See you soon.